Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. So for the past couple of days, I've been kind of in like a rut as far as like recording. I'm not too sure. I don't know. It's kind of like not a writer's block, but it's just like, I don't feel like talking right now. And I'm just not, because I've been talking a lot of weather and stuff like that. But I want to change it up. I want to do something a little bit different. Now, I think it's also been because BNA is Sports Talk episode 500, but today it's episode 501. I want to plan a bigger episode for episode 500. I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but it's just a bunch of talking giants. It's going to be like a 20 to 25 minute special per se. Today, I just want to talk about the news around the NFL and just kind of talk around sports, because I don't think I've done that in a while, where it's just like, I'm going to go into a video and just talk around the NFL, not really have a specific thing. Now, Colin Cowherd mentioned an interesting thing about, quarterbacks. So if you look at the 2020 class, I guess it is now, we have a couple quarterbacks taken in the first round. We don't know what Jordan Love is yet. We think that he's not really that accurate of a passer. It seems like he's a long-term development. We'll see how he does in the preseason game. Now, you also have Joe Burrow, who he can't really make those outside throws, but it looks like he can be like that Tony Romo-esque. I'm not comparing their play styles, but like that ceiling, that type of player. And then you have Justin Herbert, and you have Tua Tagovailoa. So you have pretty much two players that then another two players that are clear above average, I guess you could say, quarterbacks. And again, 3 or 4 years, you'll be like, oh yeah, they all have a top 10. They'll probably be in the top 10, as you get the Tom Brady's that retire maybe. But the 2019 class, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Dwayne Haskins, Kyler Murray. Two of those seem like straight up busts. I think people are overreacting to Dwayne Haskins. I kind of always thought that. I'm like, he still has some impressive drives. Like, he's always, been able to drive the team down the field. It's kind of his leadership. Now, if he gets scared straight, he can do it. Now, with Ben Roethlisberger, we've seen guys that haven't had the greatest leadership qualities and have not done everything right. These guys still succeed. There's not like a format we need to be uber mature. But, we've seen him have his struggles. Drew Lock, he's going to get replaced by Teddy Bridgewater, a backup quarterback, a guy who's, a team doesn't want to have a quarterback, but it's kind of like one of those things we'll have a transitional year. We'll just bring him in to see what he can do. Maybe he'll bring some butts in the seats rather than having a Mike Glennon out there, shout out Jaguars. And then you have Kyler Murray and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, what did he do that's elite? He's not Michael Vick. He would call him Vanilla Vick. Because of his running ability, but Kyler Murray. So the gist of the story is, every single year there's pretty much one star, you could say, one iffy guy, and then two guys who are just they probably won't be good. Now let's take a look at this draft. We had 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round. We think Trevor Lawrence is going to be great. So if he's great, and then Trey Lance, we like him. We like what he's doing. He's turning heads with San Francisco. And then you also like Mac Jones, how he can execute an offense. And then we also kind of like Justin Fields. Where does that leave Zach Wilson? And he's in a bad organization-ish. We'll see what he turns out. Robert Saleh. Do you think all 5 of these guys are going to turn great? That's what we thought with the 2018 draft. We thought all 5 of them would be great. But they got put in bad scenarios. Now, people are kind of underrating the Jets receiver core. It's like somebody said the other day, the Jets have nobody on their roster that would start on any single team. Well, you have one. His name's Corey Davis. He started with the Tennessee Titans last year. He's the number 2 wide receiver. So don't come talking about me. And take a look at the Detroit Lions starting wide receivers. Corey Davis would be wide receiver. He would be the Julio Jones over there. I guess you got to praise about Julio Jones, but you guys get the point. He'd be the greatest wide receiver ever. Actually, not for the Lions, because they, just had Calvin Johnson getting all of it. But I think you guys know what I mean. And then you have some young weapons there. I'm not talking about LaMichael Pirine. I'm talking about the guy they drafted out of North Carolina. I think, what was his name? Not Javonte Williams. Michael Carter. Michael Carter, right? Am I saying that right? And then you also have Elijah Moore, who I've heard some good things about. You have Perryman. You have Mims, who lost a couple dozen pounds because he ate some salmon apparently, or he's just making that as an excuse. So you have some weapons there. You have an offensive line. So it's not like it's awful. I think people are kind of underrating them. But if there's one guy to not succeed, now the thing is with quarterbacks, with Zach Wilson, he made some good plays, obviously with BYU. But when he played elite teams, he wasn't great. He didn't come up to the future. Now, we think Justin Fields is going to be great because he stepped up to the competition. When Patrick Mahomes played Oklahoma, he stepped up to the competition. He stepped up. With Daniel Jones, people mock him because he didn't play well against Army. But no, he had some standout games against Clemson. He had those games that were good. Now, you also get some anomalies like Nathan Peterman, who apparently he's underrated by some people. I just haven't really dove into much film on him. But he pretty much single-handedly beat the Clemson Tigers. Don't forget about that. You probably forgot about it. I kind of did too. I didn't even know about it until somebody told me. But, so what I'm trying to say here is Zach Wilson is not confirmed, which is why I'm curious why the Jets were just like, we'll move off. We'll move off Sam Darnold. Okay, you know what we could have done with the number 2 pick? You could have traded with the 49ers, got like 3 firsts. That's what the Eagles did. You could have you could have stayed there, gotten Kyle Pitts. Or, you could have done a whole bunch with it. You could have done a whole bunch. Imagine the Jets, all of a sudden you're looking at them with a Penei Sewell and a Mekhi Becton. And they also had the 21st or 23rd overall pick where they could have selected somebody else as well. Could have selected another wide receiver. Maybe Kadarius Toney would have been available then because of some scenarios that would have worked out. But, the Jets really kind of messed this up because now you're just resetting the clock. That's all you kind of did. Sam Darnold's a talented guy. That's why you picked him. Now, his deep ball accuracy, like Josh Allen, wasn't great. But, Josh Allen improved it. Josh Allen improved because he had the right coaching staff. He didn't have Adam Gase. Josh Allen didn't have Adam Gase. He had Sean McDermott. Now, what I also want to shift a little bit to was I heard comments on The Herd the other day. Now, I'm not going to have the video and also my YouTube video because I just want to mention it. He's like, what Sean McDermott did? He got there. He established a culture. They lost the first year, but he established a culture. Then the next year, they won. And that kind of brings to the importance of how it is important for the Giants to win this year. Now, I heard Fitz Vegas talking about it. He's like, I don't care if Daniel Jones tosses 20 touchdowns and we win 15 games. I want him to be Patrick Mahomes. I want him to be able to lift this team. Because we've seen the EIU quarterbacks, you end up getting stuck with them, and then you end up going nowhere. The Kirk Cousins, the Derek Carrs. They're good, but, they're big. Every single year, they pretty much perform better than, an Eli Manning ever did, in a way, But they're not going to have you excel. They're not going to bring you to the promised land. We want to see that potential from Daniel Jones. And a part of all the Giants fans right now is just wishful thinking. So we want to see elite play from Daniel Jones, not just the vanilla Vic stuff. We want to see that elite accuracy. We want to see down the field, do you actually have that deep ball and not just have that stat by PFF, but actually, flex that. And they basically said Sean McDermott established a culture with Joe Judge, and you surrounded the right pieces. And honestly, to be quite frank with everyone out there. He had some questionable time in his college career, but you struggle in college, but it's in the NFL. It feels like the teams that surround their quarterbacks with the pieces right away end up being good. You have to surround them with the pieces right away. Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, those guys. They exceed right away when you surround them with the pieces. It's not like, though, you struggle in the NFL. No, the college is a time to struggle to make sure to make you grow. In the NFL, it's put up or shut up. You gotta see special. And we've seen that. We saw that in Spurs with Daniel Jones, but a lot of it was we had such low expectations. Just go back to that preseason game. Remember when he didn't suck? Everyone was just like, oh my God, Daniel Jones he can actually complete a pass? If a lot with Daniel Jones is like, oh, he didn't completely collapse, He didn't throw the ball like he did in practice the other day to the defense 100%. Actually was kind of close. But now we want to see production. Now, can he do it? Can he take that next step? That's a question. With Josh Allen, you saw that. Now, with coaches, they're always like, oh, I saw special in him. Yeah, because you're comparing Daniel Jones to quarterback's not going to be anywhere. There's a different standard here. It's the NFL. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and kind of understood what I was saying, because part of me kind of didn't understand myself. But I think I made some pretty good points. But remember, guys, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the support recently, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.